So good day. We now continue with part two of operations management. So now we're done with competitiveness. So we discuss now with strategy. So mission and strategy. When you're talking about mission, it means reasons for the existence of the business. It is expressed in its mission statement for a business organization. Mission statement serves as a basis for organizational or goals which provide more detail and describes the scope of the mission. So basically, mission, this is the main purpose of the business. It should be the top level overall reason for being business in terms of what you want to accomplish. The more specific that you can be when defining your mission, the more success you will have later on trying to define the remaining points within your mission. Because when your mission is clear and specific and not vague, then you will know how to achieve them. So to give you an idea, for example, imagine that you own a dry cleaning business. You could state that your mission is to be the best possible dry cleaning business that you can be and impress each customer that comes through the door. That might sound good, right? It sounds good, right? But what does it mean? What does it really mean? Those kind of goals won't really give you any direction to go on. Instead, you can do something like being the top dry cleaning business within your city. Being the top dry cleaning business within your city. So this is far more attainable and very tangible, very specific. If you are bringing in the most business and getting the best reviews in your city for the dry cleaning, then you will know you have reached your goal. Then you can frame the rest of your thinking around trying to make this happen. So in the presentation here, you can see below that there are examples of mission statement. These are selected portion of a company's mission. So for Microsoft, to help people and business throughout the world to realize their full potential. Verizon, to help people and business communicate with each other. For Starbucks, to inspire and nurture the human spirit. One cup and one neighborhood at a time. Or for the U.S. Department of Education, they have something like this: to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness and fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access. If you look at their mission statement, you will see that it is attainable and somehow they are doing it as of the moment, except for US education, because we are not experiencing this, but and Verizon, because we don't have Verizon. But Microsoft and Starbucks, if you have experience probably dining in with Starbucks or being with a lot of Starbucks stores within the Philippines or outside of the country, then probably you will realize, oh, it's true. They are really doing one cup and one neighbor at a time. So that's for an example for mission. We also have a mission for our schools, right? So mission and strategy to continue. So strategy is plans for achieving organizational goal. And then organizational strategy is important because it guides the organization by providing direction for an alignment of the goal and strategies of the functional unit. So the three basics business strategy. So these are the basic. Actually, guys, there are a lot of strategies that businesses are doing, but these are the basics. Low cost, that's very, 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 very self-explanatory, actually. Responsiveness of the market or responsiveness of the business. And then differentiation, product differentiation. One company sells different types of product to different types of market because they segment the market. And then strategies and tactics. So actually, if you think of goals as destination, then strategies are the roadmaps for reaching the destination. Strategies provide focus for decision making. Generally speaking, organizations have an overall strategy called organizational strategy. But before the organizational strategy, you have to have a mission, because your mission is a guide on what you want or what is the purpose of your business existence. So that is your, and then you have your organizational goals. The organizational strategy, which relate to the entire organization. They also have functional strategies. So I think you can see that in our presentation, functional strategies. So functional strategies, which relate to each of the functional areas of the organization. So this one, financial, marketing, operation, those are functional areas. The functional strategy should support the overall strategies of the organization. So functional strategies should support the overall strategies of the organization. They should align. Just as organizational strategy should support the goals and mission of the organization, everything should align. And next are the tactics. Tactics are the method and action used to accomplish strategies. So methods and actions. You may have the strategy, but what are the methods of achieving your strategy, the action taken to achieve that strategy? They are more specific than strategy, the tactics, and they provide guidance and direction for carrying out the actual operation, like how to cook. The strategy in cooking the rice is, let's just say your strategy is use wood, or you use charcoal, or you use conductor, or you use LPG, or you use rice cooker. But the actual the tactic is how you really do it, the operation. Operation which needs the most specific and detailed plans and decision making in an organization. It's like operations are like ingredients, the how to cook, and then the ingredients are there, and then the procedures. Operations are more on how to or the procedures. You might think of tactics as the how to part of the process. That's like I said, how to reach the destination, follow the strategy or the roadmap. An operation is the actual doing part of the process. It should be apparent that the overall relationship that exists from the mission down to the operation is hierarchical. As you can see, it comes from the top and then goes down. So it has a hierarchy. So to additional on tactics, the final point is that tactics are tools that you use to enact your strategies. Your tactics should be specific details that will guide your daily activities. So if you're going to run radio ads, for example, radio ads, some tactics should include writing a script, hiring a voiceover artist, contracting radio stations, among others. Using your tactics to dictate your daily activities is the best way to make sure what you are doing today will guide you in the right direction towards your overall mission. So that's on tactics. The planning and decisions and is hierarchical in the organization. So, like I said a while ago, there are bunch of samples of strategies that there are basic, there are, I mentioned already the basics, and now we mention some of the strategies used by organizations. Low cost. So how they do this? Outsource operation to third world countries that have low labor costs, or they where the raw materials are cheaper. And then scale-based strategy. So use capital-intensive method to achieve high output volume and low unit cost. So this is more on large volumes strategies in creating or mass production. Specialization. Focus on narrow product lines or limited service to achieve higher quality. So Tesla is, they provide limited edition cars, or Lamborghini for that matter, where they have certain types of Lamborghini Aventador, and because they focus more on the quality, they do not mass produce it, or they do not produce millions or billions of it, but they only produce a few of it. And then the next is newness. Focus on innovation to create new product or service. Actually, technology is somehow on this side, newness, because they every 6 months or less than 6 months, there is something new in terms of features, additional service for technology, mobiles, laptops, computers, and the likes. And then flexible operation, focus on quick response and or customization. So some company actually like some pastry company, their machineries are somehow flexible because let's just say today they're gonna make mocha cake, next day they're gonna make another type of pastry and the like. So somehow like that, flexible in operation. High quality, focus on achieving higher quality than competitors. So they focus more on quality. Service, focus on, so next is high service, focus on various aspects like being helpful, being courteous, being reliable, among other that comprises service. And then another is sustainability. Of course, focus on environmental friendly and energy efficient operations. So they use organic products or something that the emission of their companies or their manufacturing firm has lesser carbon dioxide footprints in our environment and the likes. So a wide range of business organizations are beginning actually to recognize the strategic advantage of sustainability, not only in economic term, but also in terms of production, like I said, being environmental friendly. And then they publicize their sustainability efforts and achievements. Sometimes organizations will combine two or more of this or other approaches into the strategy. So it's not just one company focus on just on locals, only on scale. Companies actually combine various strategy that they think and that they believe that they have assessed based on research that these strategies, combinations of strategies they are using can provide great advantage for their company. However, unless they are careful, they risk losing focus on not achieving advantages in any category. So they can also lose if they do not implement well the strategy. So some businesses are actually combining one or two strategies or probably more. So that's on the examples of strategies. So next, what you can see here are, like I said, an example of strategies applied by companies. So low price, responsiveness, differentiation. As you can see, low cost, short processing time, and the other and the right part, these are the companies that are using them. Actually, I got this from Stevenson 2008 Operations Management book. So differentiation, Apple is here, Newness, Google is here, and then flexibility, here is Burger King. Probably you can choose how your burger should look like or what's the outcome. So we also have an example for in our locality, like for low price, we have Chow, we have Unitop or Tops and Bottom. You have actually experienced that. I think most of us have experienced that. So responsiveness, we probably have experienced some companies or businesses that are very responsive and short processing time around downtown or around your municipality, around your towns. So to formulate an effective strategy, senior manager must take into account the core competency of the organization, and they must scan the environment, They must determine what competitors are doing or planning to do and take it into account. They must critically examine other factors that could have either positive or negative effect. This is sometimes referred to as SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You might probably have heard this a lot of time already. And then strength and weaknesses have an internal focus and are typically evaluated by the operation. Also internal strength and weaknesses, something that you know, something that you can control. Threats and opportunities have an external focus and are typically evaluated by the marketing people. SWOT is often regarded as the link between organization strategy and operation strategy, because of this, you will know that what you can turn your weaknesses into strength, and you can turn threats into an opportunity actually, and you can identify what are those something that you can control and something that you cannot control, but you can still do something about it. And there's also an alternative to SWOT analysis. That is what you call the Michael Porter's 5 forces model. So this model take into account five things. You have to they consider the threat of new competition, the threat of substitute products or service, the bargaining power of customers, the bargaining power of suppliers, and the intensity of competition. They also considered such. So that's for Porter. And then how to make a sustainable strategy, you might ask, or you might wonder how to do that. So environmental scanning, you have to scan the environment. This is the monitoring of events and trends that present either threats or opportunities for the organization. Generally, these includes competitors' activities, changing consumer needs, legal and economic, political, environmental issues, the potential for new markets, and the like. So technically, you study the environment where you are conducting your business. And this environment have two factors, the external and the internal factors. So for the external factor, something that you cannot easily control, economic condition, this includes the general health of the economy, inflation, deflation, interest rates, tax laws, and among tariffs. And then political condition includes favorable or unfavorable attitude towards business, political stability or instability, and war actually is included in a political condition. And then whether the government or the political condition favors business, climate, and the likes, or supports businesses, that's included. Legal environment, this includes antitrust laws, government regulations, trade restrictions, the minimum wage, the product liability, and patents, and the likes. So technology, this includes the rate at which product innovations are occurring, and we are actually witness that technology is really evolving, not in years, but in just months. Competition, this includes the numbers and strength of competitors. So your competitors, direct and indirect competitors. What are the basis for competition? Is it price? Is it features? Or in terms of, is it easy to enter a certain market where you are competing? And of course, markets. This includes the size, the location of the market, brand loyalties. Are the people in the market you are doing business are brand loyal, or is it easy to enter in that certain type of market, or is there long-term stability and demographics? So that's for internal factors. And now we go to that's for external factors. And now we go to the internal factors, something that the organization can actually control also, can control. Human resources, of course, this include the skills, the abilities, and the talents of your manpower. Finance, facilities, and equipment. So your capacity, the location, the age and cost to maintain or replace can have significant impact on operation. Financial resources, where are you going to access your money for funding or debt? Can you pay it, or what are the terms of debt? And then the cost of capital should be considered. Customers, are they loyal? Do you have existing relationship with your customers? Do you understand their needs and wants? And then products and services. This includes existing products that you're providing and existing services that you're providing. And then what are your future plan for new products and services? Technology. You can both control and not control the technology, because what you can control in terms of internal factor is what technology you're going to apply or incorporate in your business to achieve your missions and visions and to achieve your goal, or to be more efficient, or to be more productive. So technology, this includes existing technology, the ability, like I said, the ability to integrate new technology to your system. And of course, suppliers, your relationship, your dependability of your suppliers, the quality of the supplies given to you, and the flexibility of your suppliers. Among others like patents, labor relations, this can also can affect, but ginagmayra na siya. So next is, this is still continuation. So your supply chain strategy. Why is it that you need to have a strategy with your supply? A supply chain strategy specifies how the supply chain should function to achieve supply chain goal. The supply chain strategy should be aligned with the business strategy. So your supplier's strategy should align to your strategy as well. Sustainability strategy. Society is placing increasing emphasis on corporate sustainability practice in the form of government regulations and interest group. For this and other reasons, business organization should be devoting attention to sustainability goals. To be successful, they need to have sustainability strategy. Sorry. Of course, global strategy. If you're planning to be a multinational corporation, globalization is increasing. Many companies realize that strategic decisions with respect to globalization must be made. One issue company must face is that what works in one country or region may not necessarily work in another. Yes, because if you think what works for the Filipinos may work for the Chinese, then probably you're bound for failure. That's why you have to understand different strategy when you become a multinational. The approach consistent with organization study that use guide the operations function. So operations strategy, what is this? So we have already mentioned various types of strategy. Now we go to the operation strategy, that the tactics and the operations, right? So operation. Wait. Before I'm going to read to you what is presented in the slides. Actually, before operation strategy become a strategy, operation strategy was actually neglected. Businesses focuses more on marketing and financial strategy because they think that if they focus on marketing, they can gain more, they can attract more customers. But actually, when we're talking about operation strategy, it does not only focus on financial or marketing, it applies to everything in the organization, the operations of the organization. So, however, they have observed that focusing more on financial and marketing strategy makes them less competitive than other companies. Thus, the focus on operation strategy comes into their attention. So now, the businesses does not only focus on marketing and financial, but they give emphasis also on operations. So they realize that operation strategy can have a major influence in the competitiveness of the organization if it is well designed and executed, because you cannot just make any strategies, right? You have to also to make sure that it is well designed and executed. So operation strategy, an aspect of operations management that is concerned with the long-term planning for a company's customer service and business strategies. Operational strategy focus on the goals and aspiration of the company as well as the actual plan for getting the business to achieve their goals. These strategies are tasked with ensuring that proper process and technology are in place to support the business in reaching its goals. This means a strategic plan should include not only the identification of existing process, of course, process and technology, but also consideration of around the supply chain, their customer. I think I already mentioned this. Their own strength and weaknesses, SWOT or the other one. And then when thinking about strategy, the organization may decide to have a single strategy. So a single strategy would allow the organization to concentrate on one particular strength or market condition. On the other hand, multiple strategy may be needed to address a particular set of condition. Many companies are increasing their use of outsourcing to reduce overhead, gain flexibility. So I already mentioned outsourcing a while ago. So this is a type of strategy. And then companies increase their risk of failure, not only by missing or incomplete strategy. So if the strategy is not well designed and not well executed, then and it is incomplete, they may be bound to failure, and that is very, very sad for the company to fail just because not everybody is into using really the strategy. So according to the World Organization 2014 issue, Motorola, McDo, Coca-Cola, Nokia have struggled in India. They want to establish business in India. They think that what applies to other countries applies in India. Example, McDo, you can actually Google it up. It was very, very late for them to realize that most Indians are vegetarian and they're selling Big Mac. They're selling like that. And then they don't eat beef because cows for them are sacred, right? So because of this, what happened is that instead of doing business, instead of them being successful, they were not successful in their strategy in India. Instead, they faced lawsuit because of how they cook beef. And how they cook fries, because how they cook fries, they use some oil from beef. So that's what happened. Another, Starbucks. So these are samples of businesses, known businesses that failed in some of their strategies. Starbucks, they also have difficulty establishing in India. Why? Because abi nila, kusog mga pining taga-India, ending, mas ganahan na ang Indian og tea. So they somehow they fail on the first try, and then on the second try, dito na daga na silang mga tea, gamay ra ang coffee, and then daga na silang mga offers of different type of teas, mga artisan teas and the like. So now they flourish. So those are just examples. So in order for operation strategy to be truly effective, it is important to link it to organization strategy. That is, the two should not be formulated independently. So dapat dungan sila. Rather, formulation of the organization strategy should take into account the realities of the operation. Dili kayo ideal na kakaayo, ka naka-realize nga, you have to be realistic on what is really happening on the ground. Realities of the operation, strength and weaknesses, and capitalizing on strength and dealing with weaknesses. So if you want your operation strategy to be really effective, then you have to do it well. So this table actually highlights some key decision areas in operation. If you notice in this table, most of the decisions have cost implications. These are only means that, as mentioned, when operation strategy is well designed and properly executed by the business, success will follow. Plus, lowering the risk of not being able to achieve company's mission and goals and not waste financial resources. So, decision area, product and service, cost, quality, liability, environmental issues. So you have your decision should revolve around that. Capacity, cost. So if you have done your research, you have talk it out and apply your operation strategy well and executed it well, implement it well, then you will lessen the cost of the company, because you can see in this 11 decision areas of the business, everything has its, most of it, 90% of it has its respective costs that relates quality. If you don't meet expectation, you will lose the customers. That's cost. Claiming warranties, that cost. Location, you have to be near the port or the people, because if it is far, it is also cost. You have to be visible. If you're not that visible, it's gonna be costly to the company because no one can easily notice you. So these decisions are very, very crucial to the organization. That's why they really have to do it. And next is quality and time strategy. Quality-based strategies may be motivated by a variety of factors. They may reflect an effort of overcoming an image of poor quality, a desire to catch up with the competition, a desire to maintain an existing image of high quality, or some combination of these and other factors. Interestingly enough, quality-based strategy can be part of another strategy, such as cost reduction. But if you're providing good quality, then you're lesser the risk cost that you're giving poor quality product, increased productivity or time, all which benefit from higher quality. And then there's also, by doing so, organizations seek to improve service to the customer and to gain competitive advantage over rivals who take more time to accomplish the same task. Because we are really actually, especially when we are in a hurry, guys, really, 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 really want the service or providing the product or service to be given to us on time. That's why quality and time-based strategy is really also important, and they can be combined with other strategies. So time reduction in the following. So what is time reduction? This is along with time-based strategy. Okay, they can reduce the time. Time-based strategies focus on reducing the time needed to conduct the various activities. So if we being efficient or in the process, the rationale is that reducing time costs are generally less productive. Productivity is higher. Quality tend to be higher. Product innovation appear on the market sooner, and customer service is improved. So organizations have achieved time reduction in this following area. Planning time, the time needed to react to a competitive threat. Product service design time, the time needed to develop and market new design product. Next is processing time, the time needed to produce goods or provide service. This can also include repairing, change over time, the time needed to change from producing one type of product or service to another. So now you're cooking this, the next time you're cooking that, and from now you're getting the customer's order, and then the next time around you're by getting another customer's order, and then you're delivering their order. So delivery time, of course, we're familiar with this, especially we're very fan of Shopee and Lazada or other online platform that you purchase something. Response time for complaints. So it's not only the time that they have delivered the product, but when we complain, they very responsive. So this must be customer complaints about quality, the delivery, or incorrect shipments or wrong product. So it is essential for marketing and operation personnel to collaborate on strategy formulation in order to ensure that the buying criteria of the product of the most important customer in each market segment are addressed. So you have to make sure that all problems are addressed. Agile operation is a strategic approach for competitive advantage that emphasizes the use of flexibility to adapt and prosper in an environment of change. Agility involves a blending of several distinct competencies such as cost, quality, and reliability along with flexibility. Successful agile operation requires careful planning, of course. Everything needs to have a careful plan, especially this when you're doing business because it entails cost. Careful planning to achieve a system that includes people, flexible equipment, information technology. Reducing the time needed to perform work is one way of organization can improve their metric and productivity, which will be our next lesson. Thank you and have a good day.